The legend of Mike Tyson was never built on politeness or patience. It was forged in fear, sweat, and an almost mythic sense of inevitability. Long before the belts, the headlines, and the aura of invincibility, Mike Tyson carried something darker into the ring. He carried the certainty that disrespect would be answered not with words but with violence, delivered through perfectly timed fists. When people talk about the baddest man on the planet, they are not repeating a nickname for drama. They are describing a truth that unfolded in front of millions of stunned viewers who watched confident men enter the ring and leave stripped of pride, certainty, and sometimes consciousness. From the moment Tyson stepped between the ropes, there was a sense that mistakes could not be corrected. If he caught you early, there was no adjustment, no second chance, no slow climb back into the fight. His style was built on pressure and inevitability. The bobbing, the weaving, the rolling shoulders, and the explosive hooks were not just techniques, but weapons sharpened by rage and discipline. Tyson did not hunt slowly. He surged forward like a predator that had already decided the outcome. And when an opponent realized this truth, it was often too late. One of the earliest lessons came when cockiness met reality in the most brutal way. The opponent tried to move, tried to settle in, tried to convince himself that this was just another fight. But Tyson did not care about plans or expectations. A single left hook crashed through the illusion, and suddenly, the man across from him understood that he was standing in front of something different. Something that did not bluff. Something that did not hesitate. Another hook followed, then another, and the crowd erupted as the fight shifted from competition to survival. The more the opponent tried to cling and smother and turn the fight into a desperate embrace, the more Tyson's fury grew. Holding him was not safety. It was an insult. That insult was answered instantly. Tyson exploded forward with a combination that erased all remaining bravado. In seconds, consciousness slipped away, and the lesson was complete. Respect was not optional. It was mandatory, and Iron Mike had just enforced it in the only language he trusted. When Tyson faced Frank Bruno, the story carried the same dangerous undertone. Bruno believed he could handle him, believed he was prepared for the storm. But belief means nothing when it is unsupported by reality. Tyson tore into him with ruthless precision. Uppercuts snapped heads, back hooks, ripped through guards, and every punch carried the weight of finality. Bruno went down tangled in the ropes, and the fight ended, not with controversy, but with silence followed by thunderous applause. Tyson had humbled another man, permanently etching his reputation. Deeper into boxing folklore, but not all disrespect came from inside the ring. Sometimes it followed Tyson into the streets and into his personal life. In May 1986, he found himself in the crosshairs of Mitch Green, a notorious gang leader who believed Tyson's fame made him vulnerable. Green tried to extort money, and when that failed, he escalated to public threats. He claimed he would destroy Tyson. He shouted it with confidence, as if words alone could shift reality. Before their fight, Tyson's stare told the story. There was no fear in his eyes, only a burning need to punish audacity. When the bell rang, the fight barely resembled a contest. Tyson took control, immediately driving forward, cutting off the ring, and leaving Green nowhere to hide. Every attempt to survive was met with punishment. Tyson did not rush. He chose to break him slowly. He wanted Green to feel every second of it. The ring became a classroom, and the lesson was pain. Green laughed at times, mocking the punches, trying to convince himself and the audience that he was unaffected. But the truth was written across his body as Tyson's uppercuts and hooks landed with terrifying consistency. Each blow erased another piece of arrogance until finally a crushing left hand ended it. Another day in the classroom indeed. Tyson later admitted he did not even want to knock Green out quickly. He wanted him to suffer, to quit, to understand the consequences of disrespect. Years later, Green tried to revisit that decision by confronting Tyson in the street. This was not a sanctioned fight. There were no referees, no rules, and no mercy. One punch was all it took. Blood followed, and the transformation was immediate. The man who once threatened Tyson now spoke of faith and redemption. The change was so dramatic, it felt symbolic. Tyson had not just beaten him, he had altered his path. When Tyson returned from prison, the world watched closely. Many wondered if the monster had dulled, if the fire had cooled. Peter McNeely did not wonder at all. He talked, he bragged, he insulted, he called himself Hurricane and promised to destroy Tyson. He mistook silence for weakness and composure for fear. The bell rang, and reality arrived seconds later. McNeely rushed forward trying to overwhelm Tyson with aggression, but aggression without control is an invitation to disaster. Tyson met him with a left hook that dropped him instantly. The Hurricane had barely formed before it was dismantled. McNeely got up, only to be dropped again. His confidence evaporated as quickly as it had appeared. The punches were too fast, too heavy, too precise. He was not facing a man slowed by time or prison. He was facing the same force that had terrorized a division. By the time the referee stepped in, the message was clear. Tyson was back, and disrespect would still be punished. Long before that comeback, there was Trevor Berbick, a man known for dirty tactics and a reputation built on cruelty. He had fought Muhammad Ali and contributed to the legend's painful decline. To many fans, Berbick represented everything ugly about the sport, and to a young Mike Tyson, he represented a target. The fight was called Judgment Day, and it lived up to the name. From the opening seconds, Tyson attacked with ferocity. His punches sounded different. Even through the television speakers, they carried a sharp echo that made viewers flinch. Berbick went down once, then twice. Each time he tried to rise, his body betrayed him. At one point, he attempted to taunt Tyson, pretending the punches did not hurt. That decision sealed his fate. Tyson unleashed a combination that scrambled Berbick's senses. When he tried to stand, his legs betrayed him, sending him stumbling in confusion. The referee had seen enough. In that moment, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. He had not just won a title, he had delivered retribution for past sins and announced that a new era had begun. As Tyson's dominance grew, so did the list of men eager to test him. Tyrell Biggs carried history with him. He had beaten Tyson in the amateurs, denying him Olympic glory. Years later, Biggs believed he could repeat history on the biggest stage. His confidence bordered on arrogance, and he voiced it openly. Early in the fight, Biggs had moments of success. He used his jab, moved well, and built confidence with every passing second. For a brief moment, it looked like Tyson might be in trouble. But disrespect has a short lifespan when it meets consequence. Biggs began to relax his defense, enjoying his success a little too much. Tyson noticed. The shift was sudden and brutal. A massive right hand changed the energy instantly. Then came the left hook, the punch Tyson had promised. It landed with devastating effect. Biggs went down hard. When he rose, Tyson was waiting. Combination after combination crashed through his guard until there was nothing left to defend. Biggs fell again, and this time, the outcome was inevitable. Tyson stood victorious, having erased an old humiliation with overwhelming force. The final chapter in this saga came with Carl Williams. Years earlier, Williams had sparred with a teenage Tyson and believed he held the upper hand. He carried that belief with him even as Tyson ascended to the top of the boxing world. When they finally met professionally, Williams tried to keep his distance, tried to box smart, tried to survive. It did not matter. Tyson needed only one punch. A left hook landed clean, and Williams collapsed instantly. He was out cold before he hit the canvas. Revenge does not always need rounds to unfold. Sometimes it arrives in a single moment. This is the story of men who mistook confidence for invincibility and words for power. They believed they could provoke, intimidate, or outmaneuver Mike Tyson. They believed wrong. Tyson was not just a fighter. He was a force shaped by discipline, anger, and an unshakable belief that respect was earned through fear. Every fight told the same story in a different language. Disrespect led to destruction. Arrogance led to humiliation. And those who dared to test the baddest man on the planet learned a lesson that echoed far beyond the ring. Today, when people speak about Mike Tyson, they do not just talk about knockouts or championships. They talk about an aura, a presence, a warning. Do not provoke what you cannot control. Do not challenge what you do not understand. And above all, never piss off Mike Tyson. If you made it this far, I want to hear from you. Which Tyson moment do you think best defines his legacy, and which opponent showed the most misplaced confidence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy deep, dramatic boxing stories like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on